Spider-Man Lotus. Man, I am so late for this drama, but I have finally watched it. Anyone who's a Spider-Man fan knows about this movie. I know I'm a bit late. I know that this all happened back in 2022, 2023, but I'm excited to get into it, and you're gonna listen to me anyway. So, first of all, I thought I would dig into the big pile of poo that is Spider-Man Lotus controversy. It all started back in June 2022. Gavin J. Conup, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that wrong, was around 17 to 18 when the film started gaining traction, as well as the film release dates. The Spider-Man movie was actually related from two comics that loads of Spider-Man fans actually love. The first one being Spider-Man Blue, which centers around Gwen Stacy and Spider-Man's relationship, and the second one being The Boy Who Collects Spider-Man. I don't think that's the name. Wait, hold on. Let me check my script. The Kid Who Collects The Kid Who Collects Spider-Man. Yeah, that's the name. The Kid Who Collects Spider-Man, which centers around a kid named Timothy Harrison. And basically the whole story is we don't even know why Spider-Man ends up in this kid's house. He's telling him everything, including his identity, and at the end we find out that the kid is terminally ill. And that's why Spider-Man does it. So on paper, everyone was excited for Spider-Man Lotus. They were ready for this thing to absolutely eat up. Just because of that, Gavin needed about $20,000 to make the film, but instead managed to gain $100,000 on crowdfunding. The thing that would do for $100,000 on crowdfunding. The film gained so much traction that Andrew Garfield and John Watts himself actually told Gavin that he was doing an amazing job, pretty much. This film was set to be the fan film of the century, if not ever. Until June 2022. The fateful day where somebody posted on Twitter, Warden Wayne, the actor for Spider-Man, was using the N-word, an 1860s slave owner in Kentucky. I don't know what makes me laugh so hard about white people saying the N-word, because I feel like they never ever say it right, or even if they do, the conviction, it's not there. It just sounds ridiculous. And the way that they go with the art, okay, I need to stop analyzing how people say the N-word. I'm just... Funniest thing about this whole thing is Warden actually came out and apologized for his behavior and said that the reason that he uses language like that is because of his homeschooling environment. I'm surprised Billie Eilish didn't try this shit. So obviously, this is bad. Gavin, as the director and the face of Spider-Man Lotus, had to do what he could and said that Warden has changed. He's a better man now. He probably doesn't say the N-word in his spare time, maybe just in his sleep, and only when music is playing, because that doesn't count. And I'm not gonna lie to you, knowing that this world that we're living in, people could have moved on. People could have been like, yeah, you know what, he said the N-word in the past, I can move on. They've moved on for a lot of things. They don't really care that much about, one slip of the N-word. That would be all great if Gavin didn't come out with text messages from his own controversies surrounding the N-word. So apparently the movie was putting together a whole ass plantation, and the only thing that they were missing was slaves. Naturally, people started dropping like flies in a spider web. Okay, after that, leaks of the production were coming out, leaks of the script. In fact, the full script just came out. And you know what else came out? The Green Groomlin. Allegedly, Gavin was helping cover up the sexual misconduct of the Green Goblin actor. John Santa something. Apparently, allegedly, he was a kiddie fiddler. Allegedly. That actually cemented Spider-Man Lotus as the most hated fan film of all time. I don't even know how you managed to go from getting people 100,000 to this, to the whatever nonsense this was. The best part of this film was actually that the person who revealed all of this in the first place was a 15-year-old boy who was a friend of Gavin when he was younger, but he supposedly got ghosted as Spider-Man became more and more popular, and to take his revenge, he released all of this, and to be honest, it ruined his career. We're in 2026 right now, and I've not heard a lick out of these law. I've not heard a lick from Warden. I've not heard anything. Gavin made a YouTube video clearing up the drama, specifying which screenshots were fake and not fake, and saying that VFX team were dropping because of miscommunication. Fans were not impressed and they hated his apology. Maybe he should have tried a ukulele. I don't know. I think that would have worked. It seemed to work for Miranda.
But I do feel like shit. The toxic gossip train, chugging down the tracks of misinformation. Toxic gossip train, you got a one-way ticket to manipulation station. Toxic gossip train.
2,000 years later.
July 2023, Ku Klux Klan had came back after 8 months of a hiatus to finally reveal the release date of Spider-Man Lotus, which was August 10th, 2023. He then premiered Spider-Man in a massive theater in LA, which actually didn't help because most people already thought he was an egotistical knob, considering all the text that came out from him was him just being egotistical, him saying that he's gonna make the best movie of all time, he's gonna be the fan movie, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that, and yeah, people really didn't like this guy, they didn't care for it, and by August 12th, the whole movie was free to watch on YouTube, and that is where I watched this thing. Now we're gonna get into, was the movie worth it? All of this drama, all of this public humiliation, all of this ruining your career, I don't even know, are they working right now? There's no way that they can get into acting or directing after all that shambolic stuff, and to be honest, no, this movie was not worth it. It was the worst thing I've ever watched, and I'm not gonna lie, Gavin, it's like you don't even know who Spider-Man is. I'll give it to them. Before, I was taking notes as I was watching the film. I thought the visual effects weren't that bad considering it was a fan-made film. I thought they did actually a really good job, if anything. But unfortunately, the dialogue did not help. And the dialogue will come up a lot in this video because I realized the script sucked ass. Like, the script sucked. It was bad. Like, who... I'm getting annoyed. I'm gonna calm down. So the story began with Gwen Stacy dying, or well, no, it more so began with like a flashback of the happy times. The movie started off with a sad montage or happiness thing to show that Gwen has died. Or so I've been told. The problem with this film is that they spent a ridiculous amount of time telling us that Gwen is dead and Peter is sad. And I don't even know how many times do you need to tell me that something is happening for me to actually get that something is happening. I think the person who wrote it, and I'm pretty sure Gavin is the one who wrote the film, but Gavin, you think we're idiots. You think we're dumb. After 20 minutes, I realized I was bored, but I had to stick through it because I had a video to make after, and I needed to watch the source material if I wanted to make this video at least interesting. In fact, I actually didn't. I feel like the context alone is quite interesting. So Peter and Harry in the movie eventually argued about Gwen's death.
I'm not trying to just stop. You can't just stop! I thought we could get past our differences and I thought we understood each other, but we don't. I don't owe you anything. I give you this place to stay, I give you money when you need it, and I help you send your failed proposals, you coward.
Even that scene felt incredibly forced. Oh yeah, and MJ the Gravedigger was there. Or should I say Nick. The dialogue in a lot of these scenes were so bad. Honestly, I felt like watching Peter be sad about literally anything. I don't know, it felt like watching Gal Gadot with a six-pack. It was The only thing that I will start giving them credit for is actually the fight scenes. There was a flashback scene, another one, I know. There was another one with the Green Groomlin. I'd have to admit, he did the voice pretty well. He did the whole Kitty Fiddler voice very well. You know what, for a nonce, I'm fair. Allegedly. Alleged nonce. Honestly, I wish the movie spent more time with Gwen actually alive instead of giving us flashbacks about how great she was. I was kind of hoping that the movie would show us their relationship with Gwen, show us why she was super important, and then do the events that happened for her death. I'm so confused, like, of everything. And I mean, I guess they don't have the budget, but still, you could have made something up. You could have made something up. You didn't have to do it from like Amazing Spider-Man 2. You didn't have to do that drop. You could have just done something more unique. If they just showed us more about her actually being alive or smiling at the camera and running away in the daffodils, then maybe I would care for her more. But when by midway through, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't care. I don't care. In my notes, I actually originally wrote that there was a lack of diversity, but I think Ku Klux, Conope, and Massa Wayne made it very clear that they did not want that diversity anywhere around their set. So then around halfway through the movie, Spider-Man broke into some kid's house. It wasn't really explained why or what was the purpose of his visit, but he just did, and the kid was a massive fan of Spider-Man. The kid was just like, oh, Spider-Man, you're so cool, and he's like, oh, bro, like, why do you like me? Mind you, I worked this out. We were in this little boy's room for 55 minutes of the film. Do you know how bizarre that is? 55 minutes of the runtime was spent in this boy's house? Doing what? Nothing? I don't know why Peter thought that Timothy, the terminally ill child, was his therapist. He sat there wallowing about Gwen and how he wasn't a real superhero. And you know what? It feels like the equivalent of telling a child that Santa Claus doesn't exist, so they should give up. I hate this film. I'm sorry, I hate this film. Like, it was bad. MJ was yet again saving Harry from another sad walking montage that lasted about easy 5 minutes. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it felt like 5 minutes of him just walking around the city. I can imagine how awkward that was to film. And she was finding him in the graveyard because, you know, I mean, to be honest, if I could never sit in a cuck chair like this. Gwen was just begging for attention. Like, it felt like watching a pick-me at the peak of her career. She was begging them to give her a chance. He was looking at Peter like, oh, why won't Peter love me? But obviously Peter was preoccupied with Gwen. But then at the same time, she was gonna have to go save Harry from his drug addiction. It just felt like there was a mumbo jumbo, and MJ was a last thought. She was desperate. It was embarrassing to watch even. Anyways, that was a little bit of a rant, but back to the terminally ill child. I think the worst thing that Peter said to him was,
And it all started with this costume. It was the greatest mistake of my life. Now everyone else is paying for it.
But you're a hero. You saved all those people.
And how many others suffered because of it?
yeah. And then once he had successfully crushed this little boy's dreams and hopes simultaneously before his deathbed, Spider-Man's like, I'm gonna go now. So I'm thinking, finally. But no, he's gonna go to the kitchen. And where the kitchen was where the mother was. And then we had more sadness. And I'm gonna give it to the mom. That was the most fruitful, like, scene we've had. I mean, I just felt like I got a lot more color from her compared to everybody else. She was just basically telling Spider-Man, why the hell would you tell my terminally ill kid that you're not a hero? Why would you do that? Like, give him something to hope for. Dang, like, even if you don't think it, at least let this kid hope. And to be honest, I wasn't believing in him either, so I don't. I was thinking that we were done with Timothy's house, but we went right back to Timothy's house because Spider-Man's like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to Timothy's room. I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna go back and say, look, kid, you inspired me. We're gonna leave it here. No. Of course not. Because we need another 25 minutes in this house. We're gonna use every bit of this location while we have it, apparently. He comes back and he's like, yo, Timothy, show me your scrapbook. Timothy's like, bet. Timothy starts showing him scrapbook. There's a montage. There's another montage about Spider-Man being Spider-Man, Spider-Man being a hero. Okay, kumbaya, my lord. And then after that, we've got, like, right when he was about to leave, and I'm like, okay, finally, okay, maybe now he's gonna go. Timothy's like,
Wait, Spider-Man?
Yeah, Tim?
Well, I was just wondering if you could do one last thing for me.
Anything. What is it?
Could you tell me who you really are?
Timothy, we've been here for the last 55 minutes. I am sick and tired. He had to open his fat gob for another request. How greedy can this child be? Like, he's been here for 55 minutes. There is someone dying in New York right now. But no. Spider-Man's too busy wallowing and telling a 10-year-old kid that his life is worthless and he should just end it. And finally he leaves. Finally! Because I was thinking this day would never come. I was thinking that we were going to be stuck here for the rest of eternity, and there was no choice. So then, to wrap the film up, we had another sad montage. You guessed it. And it was in a graveyard. Peter was talking to Gwen's grave about Timothy. Timothy's revealed to be dead. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, my god, that kid was annoying. I'm sorry. Let me be nice. He's terminally ill. Well, he was. Okay, I'm just gonna stop. And yeah, that's where the film ends. Because it was all flashbacks, there was no narrative that was happening currently, so what's the point? What is the point? Like, I feel like the whole point of a movie is you're taking us through the action. And if you're not taking us through the action, you're doing something. I mean, we can't be doing flashbacks the entire film. The film can't be a flashback. This is ridiculous. Yeah, it was pretentious at times. They had the Schindler's List color grading at some point in the film. It was just, it was doing too much. It was trying to be so many things at once when it couldn't be, and it was a massive disappointment overall. Do I recommend watching this film? Absolutely not. What does Lady Pickleby Satois think? She couldn't even rate it on Letterboxd, so she had to go to IMDb to rate it, and I gave it a fat 1-star rating. That is high. Flip it out, that's generous. I would have given it half a star if IMDb offered that. And honestly, the end was Tim's dead, Gwen's dead, I'm still not dead, and I was so relieved when the first name of the final credits actually showed up. My suffering had finally ended. For a small budget production, I thought it was actually really well made. I thought there was times where the VFX was actually quite good for what they were working with. It was fun, it was dynamic. I thought the soundtrack was also really decent. I don't know if they actually made the soundtrack from scratch or if the soundtrack was like pre-made. I don't know how it worked, but it really did sound really good. But I do think that there was not much passion for the project, and I know that sounds crazy considering he is a massive Spider-Man fan and that was kind of the whole point. But it just felt like lifeless, soulless Spider-Man. This didn't feel like the Spider-Man friendly neighborhood that we actually enjoyed and liked to watch. Nothing could save the script. The script needed to change immediately. I do think that ruined a lot of it. This could have been a way better film if the script wasn't so if the script wasn't what it was. I feel like there should have been more positive notes and less montages. I understand montages, but my god, was that insufferable. Essentially, this movie was Peter Parker being sad for 1 hour and 59 minutes, and that is not a storyline. So make sure that you touch that like button because I know you want to. Goodbye. Oh, let me I gotta put it out. Wait, did I click it?